Hey everybody! Today I'm going to talk about the best thing about being back in the United States, and without a doubt, the best thing about being back here in the United States after living abroad for almost 5 years is that my passport of citizenship matches the country that I'm residing in. And I feel like in this day and age, that's so important. 2025, we are definitely in a new era. And one of the things that was always kind of in the back of our minds while we were living abroad is that the rules can change anytime. Sure, we had visas, but we were in those other countries at the discretion of those governments. So that's something that always weighed a little bit heavily on us. And we know now that things are changing everywhere. For example, in Portugal, I've been following along, and over the past couple of months, there's been the mention of changing the path to citizenship for immigrants there. And it used to be you could apply for citizenship after 5 years of residency, and now they're thinking about pushing the goalposts back, and so after 10 years of residency, folks can apply for citizenship and try to get that Portuguese passport. When we lived there, we didn't think we could stick that out 5 years just for the passport. Just weighing everything, we were like, no, we don't want to do that. And I'm thinking, well, gosh, if we did and they changed the rules to 10, even more not worth it. So we're glad we followed our minds on that. And when we went there, we weren't necessarily looking for that path to citizenship anyway. You guys might recall that we simply left the US because we needed to find a place with lower overhead back in 2020. So, like I said, governments can change their minds at any time, and we're basically all at their mercy. And we're seeing that right now, even here in the United States. People that have been here for years are being deported, and it's simply because they don't have a valid visa. I feel for these people. They've been here a long time, but it doesn't change the fact that they don't have a valid visa. So I feel like, fortunately, unfortunately, however you look at this issue, people have had a good run, and it's a wake-up call for a lot of people because it just doesn't matter. We don't make our own rules. We follow the rules in place, and the folks that are in charge of those rules can change their minds at any time. Sad, but true. I'm a realist. This is reality. And so being back here in the US with our US passport, it takes away a lot of the mystery, or it puts us, I guess I should say, in a better position should any rules change. Now, I'm saying all this, and it doesn't mean that we won't go live abroad again at some point. It's just something that we've always been aware of and had on the back of our mind, and it's something that we're always going to be prepared to pivot if it becomes necessary. I do think it is a reality of going to live in another country. The chances of something happening are probably pretty small, but nonetheless, there's still a chance. So really, that's the one best thing about being in the United States. Now, I'm a realist, and I'm not going to get into any of the kind of obvious things. You know, we understand the language. Everything's convenient. You know, we have our families close by. Like, all of those things go without saying. But there are also things that wouldn't necessarily make us decide to not move to another country in the future. And so, since I gave you the one best thing about being back in the United States, I'm gonna give you the one worst thing. And for us, it's that we are back to square one. We are here in the US living a life that we know is not sustainable long term. I don't want to work forever. And now that I've gotten a taste of what it's like to not have to hold a full-time job, it definitely colors my outlook a little bit on everything. The good news is, should we decide to move abroad again in the future, we have some experience under our belts. And so when we left in 2020, we didn't plan anything in advance. And we certainly weren't in any position to retire, but we just decide, WTF, let's give it a try. Let's just go and see what happens. So also at that time, we were kind of basing everything on dreams. Oh, what had we dreamed of for our future as far as if we could ever live abroad? What did we enjoy about the places that we had visited before? You know, it was all based on trips and vacations that we had taken in the past. And it was also based on what was open at the time for travel, because it was COVID and everything was shut down. So, should we decide to move abroad again in the future, what we have working in our favor is we have some experience. We've done the things, we've been the places. We know, at least for me, it took a long time, really pretty much until the end. But for me, it's, well, okay, it's not gonna be vacation time all the time. I really had a lot of trouble adjusting my mindset. It took almost 5 years. Like, I get it now. I'm like, okay, we're looking somewhere to live, and living life doesn't mean it's gonna be exciting every single day, every single moment. I'm not gonna be running around doing something all of the time. It took me a lot of time to really be able to slow down and just sit with myself. And so coming back to the US has even helped shape all of that a little bit more, since I kind of know what's out there, what's possible, what's available, what's not. And so that's really going to be helpful for us in our decision making in the future, hopefully, because we're still a little bit crazy and just like to kind of do whatever, because we like to find out by doing. You know, I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos about other places simply because I want to see how they are for myself. And we all know YouTube is going to show us the best of the best. A lot of videos are for clicks, and you know, I don't think that's really helpful when we're just watching a bunch of marketing videos about places. But I get it because those videos are very persuasive. And the whole reason we watch YouTube is because we want to see something different from the life we're living, right? We want to see what the possibilities are. And if the possibilities look fabulous, well, okay, that's what we're down for. Anywho, I'm on a little bit of a ramble here, but I just wanted to talk about the best and the worst things about being back in the United States. And the best, like I said, is having my passport match my country of residence for obvious reasons. And the worst is, well, we're back to square one. Who knows what'll happen in the future? So that's always a little bit of an exciting wild card. So let me know what you think about all this. I'm always interested in your comments. As always, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.